Hey everybody, this is Craig Cottle, Director of Nature Reliance School, coming to you today for Throwback Thursday. If you know what kind of tree this is, we're going to talk about what kind of tree this is and some of the uses that you can utilize it for in a wilderness survival situation. So here's what we've got going on. In this, the blog piece that's associated with this video, you need to check out. We did some work for the Department of Defense where Doug Meyer helped us out. He taught some primitive skills. We taught a couple primitive skills. And primitive skills is something I grew up doing some of, but there's so much that I don't know. There's just so much. And Doug helped me with a tremendous amount of stuff that I'm not aware of. And he introduced me to some people I wasn't aware of. You know, Eric Callahan, which we're going to be doing some flint knapping with him, and Charles Worsham, who, you know, everybody knows those guys. Eddie Starnader is a gentleman I did not know. I'm sure a lot of you do. I was not aware of him and all the things he does, and so I got to watching some of his videos, and I found this really intriguing one, and it's going to be part of this blog piece. One of the things I didn't see that he put in there that I thought I would do is he talks about using the oils from hickory nuts as well as some other nuts. So watch that video. It's an incredibly useful video. So what I want to do is bring out and show you a hickory tree. This is a shagbark hickory tree, and this is one of the easiest identifiable trees out in a forest, and you won't see these in vast numbers, but you'll see them sporadically out through a forest. So this is one of the first trees that bears fruit that is edible by wildlife out here. So if you're a squirrel hunter, for example, this is one of the first trees that you're going to find squirrels in. Actually, you'll find squirrels cutting hickory nut trees at late summer in the very early fall, long before the acorns are ready to cut. So this is a good tree to be able to identify. You've also got some bitternut hickory trees as well. And I've picked up some nuts, and I took a picture of some bark that I'm showing you right here from a bitternut tree. And so the reason I want to show these is because hickory nuts is one of the nuts that Eddie uses in this other video that I'm talking about and attached to this blog, so check it out again. But what I also want to do is show you how to find these nuts when you come out here. So I'm going to get my little camera and we're going to take a look at it and show you how to find these nuts out here. So what we have right here is the shagbark hickory tree, and this is again one of the most easily identifiable trees out here, and people are always asking me thinking this tree's hurt or injured and the bark's falling off, but it's not. It's a perfectly fine tree. These trees serve very well as nesting sites for bats very often. So a lot of times, because bats can get up underneath that bark real easily and get some coverage for themselves, you'll find them nesting in there. So the reason I wanted to bring you this particular tree is I set up some particular things. There was a log, a large oak tree that had fallen next to this tree, and I cut it up, and I put these logs right here next to it. And the reason I did that is because I knew the squirrels would be cutting here, and also took you a real close-up picture of all the squirrel cuttings of the hickory nuts that you're seeing right here. So the thing I want to note for you is that nuts don't fall right next to the trunk. This is what a lot of people do. They'll come out and they'll look right next to the trunk for nuts and they don't see anything. Think about the branches. They're out away from the tree, and so you want to get out away from the tree and start kicking around. And as you get out here, you'll end up kicking either partials or at least shells. Maybe they're all gotten out here already. Here you go. Oh. You'll start finding hickory nuts and shells and stuff of that nature. So the more you kick around, the more you'll find here. And the bark, the covering for the hickories themselves, I personally don't know of a use of it right now, other than to burn and to smoke meat. I've used them for that, and I've used the bark off the trees to do the same thing. Puts a real good hickory flavor. But the nuts is what is one of the nut styles that Eddie is talking about in the other video I've attached here. So check it out, because I'm going to be watching a lot more of his videos, because he's intrigued me on some of the things that I wasn't aware of. Seems to be a real good primitive skills guy. Doug told me a lot of good things about him, so if Doug's told me that, I feel comfortable with Doug's opinion. So check that out. And nothing real fancy there in this video. I just want to show you what a hickory bark looks like, so that you know what a hickory tree looks like when you get out. You can find these nuts. And in essence, again, watch the video, get the oil out of here, and you utilize them to start fire. So with that said, Throwback Thursday with a hickory tree. Come on, join in. Let's learn together.